Thank you, my brother. You're welcome. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another stream. So finally the case is over, and I promised you guys that I was going to bring you the final sentencing, the outcome of the court proceedings today. Good afternoon, my people. You're welcome again to another stream as we continue to, bring the update concerning Baby Gold and Laloluwa. So, as we will have it now, is that they have been sentenced. So, we were talking about it today, and I said I will bring you the update. So, the unthinkable has. I don't know if. For me personally, I'm thinking that, they have been sentenced, but we didn't hear anything about the baby. So, as a mom, I will be thinking that if I went to church with my child, hi, you're welcome. Frida, you're welcome. So maybe I should wait a little bit for more people to join us. Hi, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm thinking that maybe I should start or I should wait. Let me know. Mommy, just a minute. Yeah, just mark that for inspiration in live video, okay? Sorry, my people. I'm sorry. I had to attend to the child. Yeah. So, you're welcome, my people. So, the verdict. The judge has given the verdict. So, you remember this morning when I came online, I told you guys, I showed you the video when they were going to court, and how they were waiting for the proceedings to start. So it was a long one, and we waited and waited. So for now, we only have that the verdict has been read, and the six of the people who were taking care of the children at the crèche have been sentenced to life in prison. And Sotitobire himself have been sentenced to life in prison. So if you remember, there were 3 counts of charges about kidnapping and about conspiracy to kidnap, abet and kidnapping. And the second one is that they actually carried out the act. And then the third one is they destroyed vital evidence. So for the conspiracy to aid and abet kidnapping, they were found guilty and sentenced to life. And for kidnapping, no, I'm sorry, let me come again. For aiding and abetting kidnapping, they were sentenced to 7 years in prison, and for the kidnapping itself, life imprisonment. And for destruction of vital evidence, it was struck out. And so the one person that was actually accused of being the one that actually destroyed this vital evidence has now been let go. So he is the only one that was acquitted, discharged and acquitted, because there was no evidence obviously that he destroyed. And so he is the only one that was acquitted. I think his name is Peter Anjorin. But the women, the 6 women, and Sotitobire himself have been sentenced to life in prison. Thank you so much. Thank you. I also appreciate you guys, staying informed and, I think one of the problem of the judiciary in Nigeria, the Nigerian judicial system is always very long. It takes so long. And the interest in those cases, they just go down, it just wins, and people are no longer interested, and journalists don't carry the news anymore. And so, it's very, very easy for them to do whatever they want to do under and manipulate the outcome. But in this case, by the grace of God, there have always been people bringing it out to the forefront. And so the whole world was interested in it, even BBC, you understand. So we just kept abreast of the situation. Anytime they were sitting, we were able to bring out the information. And the journalists in Niger TV, hi, you're welcome, Julie. Niger TV, on Facebook, and the OSCRC TV in Akure, they were just like following the whole thing and bringing out the information. And so people were just kind of wanting to see how this thing is going to end, because the case is a big case. And I'm hearing that actually this is not the first time that something in this relation has happened with Sotitobire involved. Yeah, so for me, I think that okay, he's been sentenced, but we don't know anything about the baby, you see. Thank you, Olabode. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So they've been sentenced, but we don't know where is the baby, you see. Like I was saying before I was cut short, if I went to church with my child, I want to go home with my child. I don't care about the pastor. I don't care about the past. I don't care about his glory. I don't care about anything about that. If I went to church and I went to a particular church because I like the pastor, or because I like his style, because I like to listen to him, that's it. I just go there, and then I want to go with my child. I don't care about his anointing, glory. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Why would I go and drag it? So this is how I'm kind of having the empathy towards this mom, because like a mom, you went to church, you want to go back home with your child. You understand me? So now the child is not there. We don't know where the child is, and I think of course, as long as we don't know where the child is, it makes sense that they are remanded in prison for life until something breaks and something happens. If we have the child, if something about the child is known for a certainty, and then it will be logical for them to come out again. Thank you so much, my people. So this is the situation that we have now. So I will let you hear what the judge said about the case.
The judgment is clear. Count one, the six of them were sentenced to 7 years imprisonment with hard labor. On count two, they were sentenced to life imprisonment without an option of parole. Then the seventh defendant, because they said we have not proved beyond reasonable doubt the offense of destroying property or evidence, is a discharge and acquittal.
Kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn ní Yorùbá sáà káwọn tó ń wà lébọ̀? Èdè ìbólẹ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ BBC Yorùbá ni. Kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn gan ní Yorùbá?
Ilé ẹjọ́ àwọn ọ̀daràn méje takó wá nínú ẹ̀sùn kínní, wọ́n ní kán máa lọ fi ọdún méje lọ jura lọ roko ọba pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ àṣẹ kárakára. Ẹ̀sùn kejì, ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére life imprisonment, kán máa lọ sí ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére. Ẹ̀sùn kẹta, ẹnì kejì tàbí kan, wọ́n ní àfìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ kúná tó, wọ́n ní kó máa lọ ilé ẹ̀ láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà.
Orúkọ yín lẹ̀.
Orúkọ mi.
So this is the chief prosecutor, who is also the chief justice. No, the chief prosecutor for this case, representing, for the family, prosecuting on behalf of Ondo State, So, yeah, this is what he has to say. So now they have been sentenced. So, the 3 counts, kidnapping, for kidnapping, they have been sentenced to life. For conspiracy and to aid and abet kidnapping, they have been sentenced to 7 years. So whatever, when somebody is already in life and then 7 years, I don't know, it doesn't make any difference. But one person was acquitted. That was the person that had the personal effect of Sotitobire. And then, they thought that, good afternoon, you're welcome, Rita. So they thought that he spoiled evidence, but at the end of the day, he didn't, they couldn't prove that he destroyed any visible evidence. So he's the only one that had to go home today. So the rest had to go with Black Maria. So I'll show you when they were coming out.
Babatunde àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n dá ẹnìkan. Ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére ti Alfa Babatunde àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ Babatunde àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n dá ẹnìkan sílẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére wọ́n sì fún wọn ní ọdún méje.
This is him. This is them when they were coming out of the court. Now, this is what I'm showing you. So you can see him clapping, I think it's taking him by surprise. He can't believe what happened. I think this is a sign of unbelief. Like, you can't believe what has happened. So they now put him in the Black Maria.
So as you can see right here.
So my people, this is it. Oh, this is it. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that something like this will happen? Who would have thought? There is this impunity in Nigeria that there is, that if you have the power, if you have the position, if you have the following, it becomes like a court. Nothing could, above the law and all those kind of a thing. And who would have thought? So who would have thought? I mean, I think this is for when they were shooting that morning, like, to scare people. I was thinking, this one that they are shooting is like they want to warn people that you better be careful. We are ready. It seems that the outcome is not something that the whole of them are going to be jubilating about. But I would think that there is going to be room for appeal, but the thing is, as long as baby gold is still, see, he's coming out now, as long as baby gold is still not found, I think it makes sense, because if they come out and start living life like nothing happened, so so he was actually trying to go and enter the bus, and they said no, that they took him to the Black Maria. So yeah, who would have thought? This is it, my people. So I'm not the judge. So I know some people will say I'm one-sided or anything like that. I'm just following the evidence and all the facts that we have on ground. The way they have done this thing is very damning. Good afternoon. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate. So this is it. Oh, see them taking them to the correction, to the prison now, you see. So now they will be going to serve their sentences, and that is it. That is it, though. This is what we are waiting for since morning. So it took a long time, They went there since morning at about 9. And I learned that they tried to bribe the judge, actually. I learned that they tried to bribe the judge they gave Sotitobire's people gave 10 million naira to the lawyer, and he went to the judge with 2 million, but the judge rejected the 2 million, and they actually said that in court. This was you understand, this was what we heard. Oh, I'm sorry, Favor. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So this is it, oh, my people. Who would have thought? Who would have thought in Nigeria? In Nigeria. I don't know. I don't know what to make out of this, because on the one hand, they sentenced him, but on the other hand, we don't know where baby gold is. So that baby is living according to the name. Eninla Loluwa. Like, it means God is great. Like, God is a great God. He's a great God. That is what that name means. And who would have thought that somebody that is well connected, that is a cousin to the king of Akure, that has political friends, who would have thought? Who would have thought? So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal.
The judgment is clear.
ẹ bá wa sọ kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn sà. ẹ jọ kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn.
The judgment is clear. Count one, the 6 of them were sentenced to 7 years imprisonment without labor. And count 2, they were sentenced to life imprisonment without an option of parole. Then the 7th defendant, because they said we have not yet proved beyond reasonable doubt the offense of destroying property or evidence, is charged and acquitted.
kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn ní Yorùbá sà káwọn tó ń wò wá lè gbọ́. èdè ìbólẹ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ BBC Yorùbá ni kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn gan ní Yorùbá.
Ilé ẹjọ́ àwọn ọ̀daràn méje ta kó wá nínú ẹ̀sùn kínní, wọ́n ní kán máa lọ fi ọdún méje lọ jura lọ roko ọba pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ àṣẹ kárakára. Ẹ̀sùn kejì, ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére life imprisonment, kán máa lọ sí ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére. Ẹ̀sùn kẹta, ẹnì keje tàbí kan, wọ́n ní àfìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ kúnná tó, wọ́n ní kó máa lọ ilé ẹ̀ láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà.
orúkọ yín lẹ̀.
Orúkọ mi.
So my people, this is it. This is it. 3 count charges that they were charged with. The first one is conspiracy to aid and abet kidnapping. This conspiracy to aid and abet kidnapping, they were found guilty and sentenced to 7 years. Then for the second charge is for kidnapping itself, and for this one they were sentenced to life in prison. And for the third charge, which is destruction of vital evidence, they found that one not founded, like they acquitted that one, and so one person was on the basis of that acquitted and discharged. So only one person got to go home today. The rest are going from that place to maximum prison. So, my people, who would have thought that something like this, like, I thank God that God gave us the life and the strength to follow, just to follow this case to come to the end. But now that it has come to the end, I don't even know what to make out of it. I know that they are going to appeal, but yeah, there was a story I heard that Sotitobire was involved with before. So he has been involved with they found somebody, somebody's head or something in the car that he was in. And they said the whole case was turned onto the driver who was driving that vehicle, and he was absolved from that. And the other person is still in jail. But I don't know anything. No, this one is gossip. This one, I don't have any fact about this one. So I don't even know if I should be saying this one. So this one is just gossip. So I'm thinking that, and I've seen a paper where it was said, this is not the first time that something like this is happening, So when the members were defending him, they said, this is not the first time that he's being accused of something like this. So I don't know what is going on there, but I feel very, very sad That boy is so beautiful, so cute, so young. He couldn't walk. He couldn't talk. So you can't say this, he ran away maybe when they were not looking, that kind of a thing. And it's not just a small baby that you can say that you will not even take note of. It was um just about a year old. So I don't know. I don't know what it means to go to church and hand your baby over to somebody and come back and not be able to have your baby and not even to know what happened to the baby. So I don't know. And the explanation that they are giving is not it's not even reasonable. So it is what it is. So today we have come to the end of this case. But the thing now is I don't know the legal backing that gave the judge this like we don't know all the details of the sentencing. We just know that it is 7 years and and life imprisonment for the two counts and for the one that was dropped, but we don't know the reasons. Amen, amen, amen. And we don't know the reason why Justice Adioye have given this verdict now. So this is something I will try to find out the reason behind the sentencing. And if I'm able to find, I'm sorry, my kids are disturbing. So if I'm able to find the reason behind the sentencing, the grounds upon which he made the sentencing for each and every one of them, the basis for it. So I'll let you know. But for now, I think there is hope. There is hope for for the judicial system. Who would have thought? I mean, for me, I was just like fingers crossed. But one thing I was very certain about is that I was going to follow it up to the end. Thank you so much, Vera. Thank you for keeping the keeping the whole channel going also on this incident. Yeah, it's a sad one. And in the course of this in the course of all this um disappearance of gold in the trial, there was a guy that came into the scene that it was being said that it could it be that he's the one that kidnapped gold because he was writing SMS to Sotitobire's telephone and asking for money and saying that notable pastors in Akure were the ones that sent him. They wanted him to come and spoil Sotitobire's glory. But somehow they traced this SMS and they found the guy in Port Harcourt, Chibuzo. I mean, I did a video on that guy. And when they found him, he said he didn't know anything about the child, but he saw the whole case on the television and he just wanted to cash out of a bad situation. So he was sending SMS and wanting them to send him money, but he didn't have the child. So, at that point, they arrested him and also put him, he took him along in this trial. So right now we're not hearing anything about that guy. So I don't know what is happening with that one. But what we know right now is that Sotitobire and those 6 women who were at the crèche are going to have to go in for life sentencing, except maybe along the line they decide to really open up and break down and say exactly what happened to the baby. You understand? So if they say what happened to the baby, then they will be free. But as long as the baby is not out and we don't know what happened to the baby, I fully support that they should remain in custody, because if they come out, they'll just continue life and then they will use that influence to intimidate every other person and cover the whole thing. So it's disappointing for all the people who were hoping that he will be free today, but for everyone that is actually out to seek justice for this family, for this innocent baby, because of everything that has gone down, how the church members did not show any sympathy for their own church person that was missing her baby, how all their allegiance were just for the pastor. You understand? Thank you very much. So because of the way everything has gone down and the way they try to shut the parents down, you know, and that they were even telling them that they should go and have another child and they are still young, you know, that kind of a thing. So I don't know that they believe that something like this will happen. So I know that, you know, they said when the Lord answered our prayers, we were like them that dream dreams. It is always like this, you know, when God steps in. So I just say, let me bring you this update. So if I know anything more about the sentencing and also about this guy that I told you that came into the picture at some point, and yeah, I'll continue to share with you. And as long as the baby is not found, you know, is still something that we have to continue to you know, remind the consciousness of everyone so that they don't forget it. You know, they say out of sight is out of mind. But as long as people are following up on the story and showing support to know what happened to the child, and you know, the state apparatus and all the legal apparatus for the state will be able to continue, you know, to seek justice for the child. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, my people, this is it. Oh, this is it. This is it. Oh, life in prison. Life in prison.
Babatunde àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n dá ẹnìkan sílẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére wọ́n sì fún wọn ní ọdún méje.
He can't believe what happened.
Ọdún méje.
You see, he's still in denial. You see, he's clapping and singing. So he was going to go into the healer's van, you know. You understand? He was going to go into the healer's van. They now said no. They now took him away from the healer's van and put him in the Black Maria.
So as you can see right away, where the Alfa Babatunde I'll be giving to life imprisonment and 7 years.
So my people, that is it. Oh, that is it. Oh, see them. Oh, see. Oh, that is it. Oh, Lobaton. Who would have thought? What a day. What a day. 6th of October 2020. What a day. See, oh, they are now in that Black Maria. That is it. Oh, that is it. Money gone. Influence gone. Everything. And in La Luluwa. Diego. It's incredible. So my people, this is it. Oh, this is unbelievable. I can't even believe this is happening. Somebody that is influential to this point. You remember how he was being escorted when he was going to the palace. You remember how he was being escorted, like they were praising him, like, oh my God, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. And I have to say that I didn't expect this from Nigeria. I didn't. But unfortunately, we don't know anything about the child. We don't know anything about the child. That's still a sad note for me. Thank you. Thank you for lashing. This is something that they call from grace to grass, or from, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, I don't know if I have this video here. You remember I showed you guys this video where he was when he was going to the Deji of Akure's palace. You know how they were literally like it was like a king himself was going. And from that kind of, God knows better, I know. So God knows better. Like, for me personally, I'm not the judge, so I'm just following everything that has happened. And I know, I can imagine. I mean, you don't need to be a prophet to know that this is a big deal for those people involved, for him to. I'm trying to see if I will see this video where he was being led across Akure. Yeah, my people, that is it. God, the judgment. I can't find this video that I was trying to show you guys. So now so we see him. Now so we see him. Life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. So this is not a light judgment for Nigeria. This is not a light judgment. Life imprisonment. Before a Nigerian justice will come to that conclusion of life, I'm sure there is so many things that they must have seen, Life sentence is not a joke, but yes, that is true. Who would have thought, who would have thought? But, and even the people of Akure, the people of Akure were not really having it. A lot of people said that Akure people are like that, that when you are prospering, that Akure people will come after you. I don't know about that, when I lived in Akure, it was a nice experience. I don't know about that, So I don't know that Akure people don't want you to prosper, that Akure people have anything against you if you are doing well, I don't know how that is true. But a lot of people heard that opinion, and that because of that, they were trying to persecute him and bring him down. But regardless of anything anybody is saying or thinking, as long as they brought that child to that place and they were not able to return the child, and they were not able to return the child, you understand? So yeah, thank you. So let's continue to pray and hope that the child will come out, because now we don't know where the child is. And for me, I don't know. Of course, there is a place for justice, but I feel that for the mom having her firstborn child, your strength, your firstborn, and your firstborn is missing. Yeah, I don't know. The boy with them, I don't know. Maybe it's the one that is acquitted. Yeah, I think he's the one that has been acquitted, because there were 6 women and 1 man, that are charged with. Like, I think I remember very well. Yeah, there were 5 women, and I think the 6th one is the one that will be acquitted, that will have to go home. I don't know. I don't really know again, but I know that one of the men was Peter Anjorin, and the one that they said he destroyed vital evidence. But I think this is the one that they are going to that is going to go home now from the correctional facilities, and the other ones will have to stay and serve their sentence. So there is also a little probability that there could be maybe some kind of negligence, but it's still, ignorance is not an excuse of the law, you understand? So thank you, my sister. So that is it, my people. Sotitobire, Alfa Babatunde Sotitobire has been sentenced to life in prison. Life in prison. In Nigerian prison. I don't know. I wonder how Akura people are taking this news today, because it's a big deal for a Nigerian cleric that they are even able to charge him to court and prosecute it to the end. It's really telling, and I think it's because it's a little baby, it's a little baby, and they actually took the baby. They signed that the baby was in their custody, and they gave the mother number. So the whole case just built against them. If you give number, and I say, okay, I've registered your child is so number, you take this number. Sometimes they give you a tag, sometimes they will give you a clip, anything they give you. If you don't have that thing, they can't give you that child. And normally whatever number they give you, they tag it on the child. So when you bring it, they will check to match the child, Convicts. Oh my God. Now God, though, when people say don't judge, like, this is justice. This is the kind of justice that we don't always see in Nigeria. This is the kind of justice that people lose hope in Nigeria. But I think that with this kind of justice, the world can see that there is hope, that all hope is not lost. I'm telling you. Yeah, so, yeah, you're welcome. I'm sorry. So, with this kind of judgment, the world will look at Nigeria and say, wow. So they are able to give this kind of judgment. So it's something to commend the justice for. And I hope that the justice is going to have protection, And I hope also protection for the family, Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. So that is it, my people. That is it. Sotitobire is going to jail. Life in prison. Life in prison. Life in prison. The thing they do me somehow. I even though I've been following this thing, I just like finger cross. They set free the person. Is the music loud? I can reduce the volume. They set free one person because he is the one that was charged with destruction of vital evidence. So I know that like in the beginning of the case, I remember it was Peter Anjorin. So because he was the one that was going with Sotitobire. It's like his personal aide. I'm very sure if gold is released, I'm sure that they are going to release them. Yeah, because if gold is not released, if they cannot find gold, then they have to go in for life, because you understand, it's life for life, because the child was given to them. I don't know, but for now they are going, because they came from that Olokuta correctional facility, so they are going back there now. But I don't know if that is the prison. That Olokuta is just, I don't think it's for serving sentences. Maybe it's for, I don't know how it is, but it's possible that they may have to take them even away from Ondo State. Remember that the DSS got involved. I don't know. They are not saying anything about that. They are not saying anything about that. They are not saying anything whether the child is dead, They are not saying anything. And I think that, if the child was dead, maybe they would say death penalty. But because they don't know anything about the child, so I will say, you're welcome, Adama. So I would think that because they cannot find the child and there is no corpse, so it makes sense for them to, have them in custody until if something changes, you understand? So, yeah, this is it. Oh, hey, this is it, my people. This is it. Oh.
The judgment is clear. Count one, the 6 of them were sentenced to 7 years imprisonment with hard labor. On count 2, they were sentenced to life imprisonment without an option. Then the seventh defendant, because they said we have not proved beyond reasonable doubt the offense of destroying property or evidence is discharged and acquitted.
kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn ní Yorùbá sà táwọn tó ń wà lè gbọ́ èdè ìbò lẹ fi sọ̀rọ̀ BBC Yorùbá ni kí ni ìdájọ́ yẹn gan ní Yorùbá.
Ilé ẹjọ́ àwọn ọ̀daràn méje ta kó wá nínú ẹ̀sùn kínní wọ́n ní kán máa lọ fi ọdún méje lọ jura lọ rúkọ ọba pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ àṣẹ kárakára. Ẹ̀sùn kejì ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére life imprisonment kán máa lọ sí ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére. Ẹ̀sùn kẹta ẹnì kejì tàbí kan wọ́n ní àfìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ kúná tó wọ́n ní kó máa lọ ilé ẹ̀ láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà.
So they said you said the guy should have been sentenced. I don't know, but they said they couldn't prove that he destroyed all the evidence because, of course, there were still some other evidence that they could use. So, yeah, I'm sure that the judge knew what he was doing when he acquitted that guy. So, yeah, at least for the person that is acquitted, I mean, staying in a Nigerian prison, even in just 2 hours, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And to have him, I learned that they spend a lot of money if you want to have good condition, live good, or like, some level of comfort that you have to pay enormously for it. Yeah, I'm very pretty sure, but if I know any different, of course, I'll let you guys know. But that is it. You're welcome, my sister. You're welcome. You're welcome. So we are talking about Sotitobire. He has been sentenced. So the live video started actually in the morning when I was showing you guys when they arrived the court. There was a lot of anticipation. They were also worried. You see them sitting in the video I showed you in the morning. So yeah, now it is now life in prison. Life. Like me, I was even thinking maybe they would say maybe remanded in prison, or maybe but life in prison is a very big sentence. It's not a joke. But I'm thinking that they are going to appeal. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You're welcome, Jennifer. Good day. Thank you so much. So I think that there is an antecedent to all what is happening. I think Gold is not the first case that is revolving around him, that revolves somebody missing. So I think there are some antecedents to his person in regarding to something. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Pretty Young. So I don't know, Pastor, but this is the will I say gossip, because I don't have the facts. So this is what they are saying, that there is some there are a lot of evidence actually that this is not the first time. So now it's like everything is coming together. So according to the rumor that they said, in fact it was coming from his members. In their defense, they actually said this is not the first time somebody is coming to accuse the prophet. So if this is not the first time, it means there have been always something like that around him. And somebody also told me that that they found something like that also around him, but he was able to extricate himself from the whole case, and the driver who was driving the car at that point is still in jail for that. But this time around, I think everything is just kind of coming together because of his history, of this kind of things that never got cleared and never got settled, and from where he has been based before and where he's coming from and all those kind of a thing. So it's just like everything coming to a head, and live jail is not a joke. And I don't know why the women are keeping quiet. Like, if they really know anything, this is really strange. I will always think that the women would have broken down. Like, if they really knew anything, they've been in that place since December up until now. They are still saying the same story, even no matter how ridiculous, no matter how unbelievable it is, they are still saying the same story. So this is really a weird something for me, you know. But at the end of the day, the child is not there. We can't find the child. Nobody knows whereabouts of the child. And this is not the first time that a child has been missing in a church and all those things, you know. But it's peculiar in the sense that the child was still in their custody when it got missing, you know. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, they are going to appeal. You know, they are going to appeal. At first, it's disbelief. You can't believe what is happening. Oh my God, did this happen to me? I can't believe this. You know, there's a lot of hope. You understand? But that boy, that name is following him. God, my God is a great God. Is really following him. It's really, really following him. So, to God be the glory. Enila Loluwa, there is justice for you. I pray that he's alive, and I really pray that at some point he will be released to his parents. Yeah, this is my hope. Yeah, so my people, this is the update I have for you for today. If I see any other information, any other thing that will, you know, yeah, yeah, it is so. It is sad, but he's not forgotten. I believe so. He's not forgotten. He's not forgotten. Yeah, he's not forgotten. Um, God proved himself strong, you know. You know, when you look at the mom, when you look at the mother of that baby, you know, she looks so young. She may even look like a teenage mother if you don't know her, and like if you don't know her and you just saw a young lady like that having a child, it may almost look like a teenage child. So for people who are, you know, who have these dubious intentions, they may go after people like that who, you know, from the look of them, they look like, oh, they are not so worthy. Maybe, you know, they don't have a, you know, maybe something like that, you know, somebody of no repute, somebody that, you know, nobody's going to be on their side or speak for them or something like that. You know, she looked fragile and so young. So I'm sure they didn't know her history, you know, that they didn't know maybe that she was married, that she had a husband, that she was not just a young single mom. So you know, and they told her to calm down. And actually, you remember when it happened, when the child got missing, she went to the crèche to check on her child at about 11 o'clock. When she told the story. Thank you so much, Pretty Young. So when she told the story, she said, you know, she went to check on the child at about 11 a.m. Keep in mind, 11 a.m., that is just before noon. And then she couldn't find the child, you know. So she looked around. And they said, oh, she should look for inside the main auditorium. So she was looking inside the main auditorium, like she was just looking by herself. She didn't even take it serious. She just felt like, oh, and you know, because she has so much faith in this man, she trusted this pastor. You know, she believed this man was sincere and, you know, praising God and all those kind of a thing. So, and she believed that the man has the gift to see. So if anything was happening, he's going to see it anyway. You see, so she didn't even behave, you know, like I don't know how to express it. Like if you would expect in a normal situation that you at 11 o'clock you have not seen your child, you now go back into the auditorium. So she now went back into the auditorium and would come out again some hours later to go back to that place, and they still haven't found the child. And then she was not shouting at this point because the service was still going on. Obviously, it takes long, and it's a special service, you know, all this kind of service that they hold from morning till evening. And so she was not shouting up and down. And then because of that commotion, they said, you know, she had to go inside. And then the pastor was like, okay, calm down, the baby is around. Thank you very much. That the baby is around, the baby is around, that kind of a thing. So she just kind of sat down, cool temper, like, okay, he can see, like, it's that feeling like you have, like when my father is in heaven, my own is just to be enjoying. So if my father said the baby is around, so what is the worry about? But it was while she was sitting down there, then the logic now clicked in, like, wait a minute, you came to church with your child since morning, you have not seen the child, and they told you that to calm down, the child is around, and then I told you that, okay, you can go home and have your rest, take a shower, and then come back so that we'll continue to pray. It was at that point that the thing now clicked on her mind that what is going on? Like, I came to this place with my child, then I should go home and take a bath and relax and come back for 9. Like, that was when the thing started making sense to her. Like, oh my God, I've been stupid. That was when she now had to go out and call her sister, her family people, and they came, and that was when they started going to report to the police. So this is how this, can you imagine something that happened in the morning? In the morning, this is precious, valuable time that they lost for nothing, for no reason. Like, when I think about this, I feel so angry. But then I can't. This is how Nigerians reason. They spiritualize everything. You are there. You are a man of God. You are there. You are somebody that is taking care of creche, and a child is missing, and the mother tells you that the child is missing. Why would you just wave it aside flippantly and think it is nothing? A whole child, even if it's a day-old child, even if it, like, I don't understand that part of this story, that you as a leader in the church, and you are sitting there and they tell you that a child is missing, and you continue doing church service. Instead of you to hold everything and block any road that leads out of that arena, everywhere, unallowed, police every time, this, he would have exonerated himself on the spot. He didn't do this. He now told the woman to calm down and sit down here and let us pray. Hey, the baby is around. So, the whole thing was going on. Valuable time was lost. The time they would have used to cut off the whole area, cordon off the whole area. If they see anybody with a child, here, where do you have the child from? Here, where do you have? Prove this is your child. If they did that instance, they would have found that child, because the person would not have gone far. Let's assume, assuming, on a logical way, that they have nothing to do with it. Somebody took the advantage of the lapses in security and to take away the child. This is a normal way to behave. And then your intent will be, okay, what do we do now? Action, close everywhere. You have the influence. Even out of Akure, any car, anybody with a child going out of Akure, stop them. There are police. All the roads that is leading out of Akure, going to Lagos, going to anywhere, there are police always on these roads. They will just brief all of them, stop everywhere. You see, sometimes when people are talking about how Sotitobire didn't do what he's supposed to do, the members keep saying they want to take away his glory. They are interested in his... Come on, people. Everything is not about glory. Nobody's going to eat your glory. Your glory may be important to you, but it's not important to other people. If a woman came to the church with her child, and you are responsible for that child, and you recorded that this child is with me, you gave this woman a tag. If the woman comes back and presents the tag, it is your duty to give her back her child. No excuse. And this child was missing while in their custody. You see, if the child was missing in the custody of any other person, or in the church, maybe the mother didn't go and register the child with them. Maybe the mother was just in the church premises with her child, and then at some point she couldn't see the child anymore. So you cannot hold them responsible. But she handed the child over to them. That is the crux of the matter, and they didn't do what they needed to do. They had to do. They could have done, would have, sort of all this kind of thing. But now it has, it has come down. Everything is not about who you are, where you are, your position, your glory. Sometimes the little needful thing is the most important thing. This is the most important thing you can do. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome, Odupe. So this is the easiest thing people forget. The most easy and simple thing, the simplest task you can do. It says a lot about who you are, about what your values are. You understand me? But if you neglect an innocent baby that couldn't walk, that couldn't talk, that was given to custody to people who you are their leader, you are responsible for the child, and they're looking for this child, and you carry on doing church service. You carry on doing church service, for God's sake. When a child is missing, you didn't take any action. You carry on to be doing as if you know you can see, and the child is missing. And when a child is missing, the first few hours are the most important, and you carry on wasting precious time and telling the mother to calm down. The child is around, you can see the child is around. The woman was calming down, hoping that somebody will bring the child at some point. Then all of a sudden, they say, okay, go home and take your bath and relax, and then you can come back for night vigil, and then we'll continue praying. Who does that, please? Who does that? Who does that? So I don't know, maybe there is too much spirituality and people have lost contact with normal logical way of dealing with life situations, and so they just kind of spiritualize everything and think that. And do you know, I'm thinking that if the mother was coming back and praying, and then they will come, maybe they will now do 3 days fasting, and they will give a prophecy that the child is going to come back in 3 days, in 7 days, and somehow like that the thing will just wane. Nobody will, it will be her loss. But thank God that the woman came to her senses, and then she went to call anti-kidnapping police, and the thing that they would have started in the morning could on everywhere. That's what they started doing in the evening, in the next day. The next day. If a little child is missing, the first 1 hour is the most important. Because that 1 hour, if you don't have a head, so, and it's not even that they are poor, it's just spirituality. This, you want to pray and trust your pastor, there's nothing wrong with it. But in this kind of situation, it's a sad situation, but I believe that a lot of people will learn from it. Number one is, if your child cannot talk, if your child cannot walk, and if your child can, if you go to anywhere with your child, make sure that you keep an eye on your children. That is it, that is it. And if anything happens, take it serious. Don't wait upon people who are going to be seeing vision. Do the needful immediately. Cordon off the area. Anybody they see with child, do you know, in this Germany, somebody gave birth in the hospital, like inside the hospital. Then they gave the mother the child. So I don't know how somebody now wore a dress like he is working there, and went to that place and took the child while the mother was like, when a woman just gave birth to a child, new baby, and the woman came out successfully out of the hospital with the new baby. So when the mother now looked around and said, she thought, normally in the hospital, when you have your baby, sometimes the nurses, they can come and take the child. If you are sleeping, you are not attending to the child, they can take the child, feed the child, change the child, whatever, check the child and bring the child back. So the mother thought it was one of them because she changed her clothes. So it was when they raised the alarm that she can't see the child. Where is the child? But you came to tell her. They said no. They now looked and saw that they dropped something like this lab coat that doctors are wearing on the ground. You understand? So that was how they started looking for the child. Do you know that every train that was the whole region locked down immediately? Locked down, no escape. Within 30 minutes, everywhere was locked down. So the lady that took the child, she was thinking that she would have gotten away, taking the intercity train, and got into another city or into the neighboring country before they would find her. But because of the lockdown, she couldn't find anywhere to go, and she had to go back to her house. So the news was everywhere, on the radio. Have you seen a child? Police was everywhere. And then somebody was now saying that her neighbor, she know that those people, they don't have a child, but she saw them with a child today. You understand? That was how they were able to go to that house and arrested the lady. It turned out that the women, they were lesbian women. They didn't have, they wanted a child, and she didn't know how to have a child, so she decided to go and steal the child. So she will now travel out to Eastern Europe and now come back and lie that she has gone to adopt the child or whatever there, and bring papers, and then will register the child as a German child. But because they took that initiative and locked down the whole region, so if you were with, so they, why they locked the whole region is that you can't leave that place. So they were searching every corner of inside that place, and they do this successfully most of the time. If you report on time. Even in Nigeria, as bad as things are, if you report on time, they follow the lead immediately. They always come to a good conclusion. But but if you let everything slide for so long, after you have prayed, after you have gone to Dibia, after you have gone to do after you have done all your ceremony, then you now come to police. So this is it, my people. Unfortunately for the baby, we don't know anything about the baby, but I'm trusting that the God Almighty that has made it go this far, He's not going to forsake this family. I'm trusting God that we will still continue to know what happened to the baby. So if I get any more details, I'm going to let you guys know. Yeah, it's been a long talk right now. It's about an hour now. So I'm going to leave you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all your support. And yeah, this is it. Sotitobire and 6 of his members sentenced to 7 years for aiding, abetting kidnapping, and for life for kidnapping itself. Thank you so much. So I'm going to leave you guys here now. I'll see you in another live stream. Bye for now. Bye.